Okay, so today is week one of that Buspar, also known as Buspar. Um, it's been pretty neat on the whole. It's been a pretty great experience. The first week I had headaches almost every day, but they weren't that bad, but they were definitely all day. I didn't take anything for them because I don't, even though I'm taking medication for anxiety, I don't like, if I can help taking other medications, I won't, if I can avoid them, I mean. So I don't take anything for the headaches. I just kind of let them be. They're kind of like dull, aching. Sometimes it felt like it was behind my eye. Headaches. One day I was like a little bit nauseous, a little bit. Still ate because I love to eat so much, but a little nauseous. But on the whole, it's been pretty positive. Knock on wood. It's interesting. Internally, you don't think that you are any different, really, than you were when you took the medication. But then when you put yourself in a situation that requires you to be, say, social, it's almost like you just watch yourself just like open up. Like your body just goes. Your mind just goes and starts engaging in these social activities. It's just, you're just a little bit more, you have just a little bit less inhibition, and you just find yourself talking at length when normally you would have very few things to say, or you feel yourself like more stuck. Sometimes you're in a conversation with somebody and you kind of almost you got your weight distributed so that you're about to walk off and you're like, okay, yeah, see you later. Like you're about ready to get out of there. But then with the medication, you kind of feel like your feet are planted in the ground. You're like, okay, I'm in this conversation right now. That's kind of what it feels like. You don't really feel so different. It is, but it's very, very subtle. I think a lot of people, I'm only in the first week. Technically, you're not really, oftentimes you don't really feel anything until the second or third week. I always have been very, very sensitive to medication. I'm a very sensitive boy. So in 1 week, I'm already kind of feeling it, and it's definitely been positive. Oh, one thing I had in the first couple of days, I had like my hands were like a little shaky, like this, almost like if I don't know, you just gotta have a fight or flight situation, someone cut you off and you just got that road rage and they had to pull to the side of the road and you look at your hands and you're like that. But it kind of freaked me out, and I messaged my doctor, my psychiatrist, and she's like, well, chances are it's not really the medication. But just watch it, keep track of it. And I was like, oh my God, I hope this goes away. And you know what? It did, actually. It did. I kind of also felt that I was getting like random little muscle me spasms, but again, I don't know. Maybe that just was me freaking out because that's what I do. That's why I'm taking the medication, because I do that. So tremors for the most part, not so bad. Not there. I've always been a shaky child. But yes, I've been feeling pretty good. I had one little down thing, that I guess maybe I'll go into it at length later. But on the whole, it's been pretty good. If anything, I feel like I've almost gained a tolerance even in this short period of time. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I'm just saying it as I feel it, as I see it. But yeah, it's not like your anxiety is going to go away entirely. It's not like you're just going to like be, Mr. Vomit Mouth. You're not going to just be saying blah, whatever you want to say if it's on your mind, like you have no internal monologue or anything like that. You still are very cognizant of like, oh, should I say this? Should I not say this? Should I approach these people? Should I not approach these people? But the difference between that kind of anxiety and what actual anxiety, like really feeling anxious, is like night and day. It feels very different. Like when I would be anxious, like socially anxious or otherwise, it would just feel like my gut would be just wrenching. I feel like someone just like punched me in the solar plexus, and I was just like, but over the years, being an anxious person, I know how to overcome that feeling. So I still do it. I still go ahead and do what I need to do. But it's, definitely visceral and very unpleasant. But with the medication, it's not so visceral anymore. You still understand that it's like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I talk? Should I speak up? Should I raise my hand? Or what have you. You still wonder if you should do it or not. But then to get over that hurdle, it's not nearly as difficult. One thing I was worried about, was like libido stuff. Not at all, not an issue. In fact, I think kind of the exact opposite. Everyone's different. Obviously, like some people have some sorts of sexual dysfunction that are tied to things that are physiological. Sometimes they're out of shape. They're overweight. Their like hormones are all out of balance. Perhaps low testosterone because you have like high body fat or low muscle mass or what have you. You don't exercise. You don't eat right. You don't sleep well. That's a big one. But other times, sometimes people have sexual issues or difficulty with that kind of intimacy because of anxiety gets in the way. And in my case, I feel like that definitely played a role. So I feel like a lot of anxiety when it comes to all kinds of intimacy, it definitely helped me feel more comfortable. And so that was a big, big bonus if that's what you're maybe looking for. So I'm going to I have kind of a little bit of headache now. So sometimes the headache comes and goes, but on the whole, so far so good. I was told by my third week to start doubling my dose. So right now I take 5 milligrams every morning with food. Generally like after my workout and with food in the morning. So I wake up pretty early, like 6 to do that, 6, 7 to do that. But then and I hit the third week mark, I'm supposed to double it. So once in the morning and once in the night, or like in the evening, early evening. But I want to see if I can avoid doubling it. I just want to see how much 5 milligrams will do for me. I don't know. I'll talk to my psychiatrist about it. Another thing too is I'm all about neurogenesis. Like I want to grow as many brain cells as possible. I feel like over the years of being such an anxious person, your brain is so shut down, and so just like you feel almost like your mind is deteriorating because of under all of the duress of your anxiety. And so right now, when I do take these medications, it's also really important to me that I'm exercising, because exercise really brings up your BDNF, right? Brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So it increases your brain cell. You can grow new brain cells as an adult. It's possible, they say. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to run. I'm trying to do cardio. I'm trying to do a little bit of weightlifting. I'm trying to eat right. I'm trying to sleep to the best of my ability, but that's easier said than done for me. I get about 4 hours sleep, usually. Not great, working on it. So I encourage you, if you're thinking about doing this medication, try to get in the best shape you possibly can before going into it. And then know that you did everything that you could physiologically, and then see how the medication affects you mentally. If you need to take it, obviously go for it. Don't feel the shame or stigma to take medication. Believe me, I've felt the stigma for a long time. And now I'm understanding that these medications can be helpful, but you need to know that you're in a place where alternatives won't work out for you. If you haven't tried eating right, if you haven't tried exercising, if you haven't tried avoiding coffee for anxiety, if you haven't tried avoiding drugs, cigarettes, all kinds of caffeine, all sorts of stimulants, if you haven't tried doing that and haven't tried getting your life right, try that first. Please do yourself that service. So do yourself the disservice of taking a drug when your body's out of whack. You're not going to get nearly as much benefit that way. So get your life right, and then try to take the medication. Easy does it. Baby steps. Take a little bit at a time. Ease your way up. So that's good. Anything else that I felt? Yeah, I felt just kind of a little bit more socially lubricated, as they say. No one says that. Yeah, so that's week 1, 5 milligrams. I'll keep you posted. Good luck out there. Take care of yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Don't be so hard and be so critical on yourself. You deserve help. You deserve the help. Find your support systems. Okie doke. I'm gonna probably just end this right here because it's about 10 minutes.